This is Gene Monterestelli, and welcome to the Tapping Q&A podcast, recorded live to tape from Williamsburg in Brooklyn. This is episode 248, originally aired December 1st, 2016. Hi, everyone. I hope this finds you well wherever you are and whatever time of day you're getting a chance to listen to this. Thanks for spending some time with me today. The podcast today is going to be a little bit different. It is a tap-along podcast, and we're going to be tapping for stress that comes along with the holiday season. I don't know about you, but it seems over the course of the last week, every single time I have walked into a store of any type, I have been assaulted by Paul McCartney's Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time. I love Paul McCartney, and that song wants me to just gouge my own eyes out. And it made me realize that this is a time of year that is very, very high stressed for lots and lots of reasons. So we're actually going to have 4 different tap-alongs into today's audio. Now, all 4 of them might not resonate with you, so I've set it up in a way that you can get access to the part of the audio that makes the most sense to you. Inside the show notes, I'm going to include the timestamp where each tap-along starts. On the website, if you click on the page for the archive for episode 248, you're going to see a timestamp after each one of the items so that you can just zip forward and zip back to the place that you want to find the tapping that you want. And on the website and in the Tapping Q&A app, I am providing printed versions of the scripts so you can tap along to them. So if you go to tappingqandapodcast.com, click on the link for 248, you will see all 4 scripts. If you happen to have the Tapping Q&A app, which you can download absolutely free of charge for both Apple and Android devices by simply going to tappingqandapodcast.com, when you're inside of the app, across the top, there are 4 selections. One of them is text. In the text section, I'm in the process of adding the tapping scripts for every tap-along audio that we've done on the podcast. And for this one, what I've done, I've actually created 4 separate entries so that you can go exactly to the tapping script that you want to, so you have it right there at your fingertips. That's a compelling reason for you to get the app. It's absolutely free, but it's a chance for you to have tapping scripts right at your fingertips, so you can just open it up and just tap along wherever you are and whenever you are. Before we jump into that, just a quick reminder that the Tapping Q&A podcast is sponsored by Pain Relief Miracle. Pain Relief Miracle is an all-natural spray that works for scrapes, cuts, bruises, arthritis, joint pains, muscle issues. My sister was actually visiting me over the Thanksgiving holiday, and at one point she asked to use some PRM and then made the comment of, I never travel with it because I know someone in the family is going to have it. So you know what she's getting for Christmas this year, some PRM. You can get 33% off your first order by simply going to tappingqanda.com/pain. It is in my medicine cabinet and will be under the tree for many of my loved ones. It should be in your medicine cabinet as well. The other reminder is at tappingqanda.com, we have a free 10-part guide to help you use tapping to eliminate self-sabotage. There are videos, there are audios, there are tapping scripts, there's instructions. Every 2 or 3 days in your inbox, you will receive a new piece of instruction, training, tap-along material. I send it out every couple of days so you're not overwhelmed and you can actually use and integrate the pieces. Tappingqanda.com. And if you happen to be listening to this in the website, up in the right-hand corner, big blue button, click on it, and you will start receiving that guide absolutely free. For the tap-along audio today, like I said, there's 4 of them right in a row. I'll give a brief reintroduction into each audio as we step into it. Again, check the show notes or the website for the timestamp if you just want to go to one of those audios or if you just want to look at the tapping script. So the 4 audios that we're going to tap for today in order are too many activities and feeling way too stressed. Number 2 is having to spend time with people who you might not necessarily choose to spend time with, but you have to because it's the holiday season. Number 3, we're going to do some tapping for the financial stress that comes along with the holiday season. And number 4, just some tapping around the holiday season losing its true meaning because we're caught up in the busyness and the commercialism of the holiday season. So let's start. Tap on the side of the hand, take a nice big deep breath. And first, we're going to tap on having too many activities. And then a nice big deep breath. Simply move from tapping point to tapping point in the order that makes the most sense for you, repeating after me. This is a crazy time of year. It feels like there are a million things going on. Parties that friends are throwing. Parties that work is throwing. Pageants that kids are in. And it feels as if every time I look at my calendar, there is one more thing I have to do. It feels like a marathon, not a celebration. And because we are going nonstop, it's hard to appreciate each event we experience. And some of the events, I feel like I have to show up to. Not that I want to be there. Not that I enjoy it. But it is a requirement. And because it's a requirement, stacked on top of many other requirements, it's anything but fun. It's anything but enjoyable. I even start to resent it. And I give myself permission to know that I am allowed to say no. I give myself permission to know I don't actually have to do everything. I give myself permission to know I'm allowed to leave early. And I don't have to stay until the bitter end. Just because I was invited doesn't mean I have to say yes. And many of the things that I miss, no one will even notice. Because everybody is over busy. I give myself permission to know it is okay for me to take care of me. It's okay for me to focus on my own family. And not feel like I have to do everything. Many of the people who have invited me places will actually enjoy it a lot more if I visit them in January, when none of us are overwhelmed by the holidays. This holiday season, I give myself permission to take care of myself and to say no to the things that are not helpful or healthy for me to do. Nice big deep breath. Now we're going to spend a little time tapping for having to spend time with people we might not necessarily like because we're obligated in the holiday season. Again, just tap on the side of the hand, take a nice big deep breath. And another big deep breath. And just move from tapping point to tapping point in the order that makes the most sense, repeating after me. I recognize the fact that I am going to be spending some time with people I don't necessarily like. I'm going to be spending time with them because I've chosen to do that. Because I decided it is the right thing to do during this holiday season. But by choosing to be there, I am not saying that I agree with their worldview. I am not saying that I want to spend lots of time with them. And I know that there are going to be moments where they are going to say or do something that's really going to frustrate me. That they are going to do something that drives me crazy. And more than likely, I will do something that drives them crazy as well. I recognize the fact that I am allowed to navigate this in a way where I am putting my safety and health first. I give myself permission not to engage. I give myself permission to get up and leave the room when necessary. I give myself permission to know that it is okay that I leave early if I have to. Just because I am interacting with someone does not mean they have to take up a huge amount of space in my head or a huge amount of space in my heart. Sometimes we decide it is best to show up places where there are people we don't get along with. I don't have to do this every day. I don't have to do this all the time. I give myself permission to not worry about it going into it. And I give myself permission to let it go the instant I walk out the door. It is okay for me to take care of myself. It is okay for me not to engage. It is okay to let this pass until I have to do it again next year. And hopefully in the preceding year, we all will evolve. And our interaction next time will be better. Nice deep breath. The third issue that we're going to tap for today is the financial stress that comes along with the holidays. Side of the hand, nice big deep breath. And just move from tapping point to tapping point, repeating after me. I recognize I spend a lot more money during the holiday season on the gifts that I give, the social events that I attend, the food that I buy. And all of this can create a great deal of stress. I recognize the fact that much of the spending that I do is spending that I feel like I have to do. That I don't have a choice. that I don't have an option, that it is something I must do, or other people will judge me because I didn't give the right gifts, or I didn't give the right amount of gifts. And the reality is, most of the gifts that we receive and most of the gifts that we give are forgotten about very, very quickly. Because we already have so much stuff in our lives that we might appreciate it in the moment, but it just joins everything else that we own. I give myself permission to be much more thoughtful about my buying decisions, to be much more thoughtful about the choices I make, knowing that I can give less more thoughtfully, still letting the people I love know I love them. I give myself permission to let go of the guilt, which is compelling me to buy more. It just wants me to be safe by acting like everyone else. But I give myself permission to know I don't need to do that. I can be thoughtful. I can be deliberate. I can give good gifts that I am proud of and spend less. I give myself permission to know it is okay to let go of the social conventions of what we are supposed to give. And give in a way that makes sense for me. Nice deep breath. Our fourth tap along is about the season losing its meaning because we're caught up in all of the craziness. Side of the hand, nice big deep breath. And just move from tapping point to tapping point, repeating after me. I recognize the fact that the holidays have become very commercialized. I recognize the fact the holidays have become super busy. And it is easy to get caught up in the obligations. It is easy to get caught up in all of the details. This holiday season, I give myself permission to carve out the time that is necessary for me to appreciate the season for what it really means. To connect with my family traditions, to connect with my loved ones, and to connect with my spiritual beliefs. To take time to reflect. To take time to appreciate. To take time to be in the moment. Even if I have to schedule that quiet time on my calendar, I give myself permission to be deliberate and intentional. To let go of the craziness. To let go of the hubbub. And to be fully present to what is going on. To be fully present to what I want to experience. I give myself permission to make the holiday season about the part of it that is important to me. To be present in the way that I want to be present. And not be wrapped up in all of the craziness of the details. Nice deep breath. So I hope you enjoyed those 4 audios, and I hope they are helpful for you during this holiday season. Again, go back and re-tap along to the one that makes the most sense or the ones that make the most sense to you. If you go to tappingqandapodcast.com, you can download the Tapping Q&A app for both Apple and Android devices, so you can have access to all 4 of these scripts separately, printed out so you can tap along to them. Or if you go to tappingqandapodcast.com, click on the link for episode 248. I have printed out scripts below the player, so you can print them out. And if you look in the show notes in your podcast player, or if you're listening to this on the website, you can see the timestamp where each one of these audios start, so you can go and just tap along to the audio at the place that makes the most sense for you. As a reminder, don't forget to take advantage of the 33% off your first purchase of Pain Relief Miracle. Like I said, I'm going to be giving it for Christmas. You should have it under your tree and in your medicine cabinet as well. Just go to tappingqna.com/pain to receive that 33% discount. Get the 10-part guide by going to tappingqna.com to help you to use tapping to eliminate self-sabotage. Remember, the entire archive of the podcast is located at tappingqandapodcast.com. There are over 300 audios. They're available absolutely free of charge. Tap-alongs like this, instructions, interviews with some of the brightest minds in transformational and change work. Take the time, go in there. The resources just sitting there, waiting for you to use. It will make your day better. If you know someone who could use the tap-along we did today, please be our ambassador. If you make their holiday season better, you will make everyone around them's holiday season better as well. Just shoot them an email. Don't spam your inbox or send it to everybody in the world, but there are 1 or 2 people who you know who might really appreciate listening to this and tapping along to this. And as always, if you have a question, a comment, a topic you'd like to see us cover in the future, someone you think I should be interviewing, I'm putting together the interviews for the spring right now. You can always drop me a note directly at Gene, Gene, at tappingqna.com. If you're on the website, just click on the contact link. If you're in the app, just go to the contact section. You can email me from inside the app. You can even leave me a voicemail directly inside the app. I love hearing from you. For the Tapping Q&A podcast, this is Gene Montrestelli. I hope you're having an awesome holiday season, and I will talk to you real soon. Bye-bye. The Tapping Q&A podcast is copyright Gene Montrestelli, Tapping Q&A 2016. All views expressed by guests are those of the guests and not necessarily of Gene Montrestelli or Tapping Q&A.